We leave from Brussels after a nice 3 nights rest and recovery and exploration of the city. We say goodbye to the Brussels Royal Yacht Club and continue south. Today won't be a very long day, about 30 kilometres to our next marina. Pass through the centre of Brussels, we have to negotiate Loch Molenbeek. Once again, our very trustworthy and capable crew for rent is on the ropes. I think we only have one bridge and or a lifting bridge, and then we're out of Brussels proper. Here we are on our last lock of the day, Sluis van Itri. It is a pretty spectacular way to finish the day. I think we've got a vertical ascent of about 20 metres, so it's a pretty big lock. Nice way to finish the day off before we have rest at our next stop. So after our free parking spot behind the lock last night, we're ready to set off again this morning. Pretty exciting part of the canal that goes from Brussels to Charleroi. We're going to experience what's called an inclined plane, which is basically a lift that goes in a tub of water down an inclined plane, taking you 68 metres lower than where you started, or higher if you start at the bottom. Pretty interesting and amazing feat of mechanical engineering. So stay tuned and come check it out with us. So we're now almost halfway up the Ronquieres incline plane lift. Each bath that we're in is 90 metres long by 12 metres wide and is about 3 metres deep, which means there's around 500,000 litres of water at the moment being pulled up this incline. The incline is 1,432 metres, which means we'll vertically rise about 68 metres by the time we're finished. The bath moves at about 1.2 metres per second, so the trip takes a total of 22 minutes. You can see the second bath coming up here. This one's not operational. Each bath has its own 5-ton counterweight, which helps to propel the bath up or lower it back down this amazing feat of structural engineering. Now we have the path ahead. We're at the top of the observation tower at the Ronquieres incline lift. You can see our boat right down there. Isabel and Oktave. We're now at the summit of the observation tower, looking south, no, north, towards Brussels. And a picture of the lift that we just came up, or the incline plane that we just came up. As part of your entry into the observation tower on the Ronquieres incline plane lift, you also get entry into a barge museum. So it goes through the life of a bargee. It's an audio tour, well worth the €8 you pay. Is here in the Escale Cafe with all of his friends. We now turn off the canal to Brussels, to Charleroi. We're doing a quick diversion onto the Canal Central. Basically, we're going to head into a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We'll be doing a series of hydraulic boat lifts. These lifts have now been replaced by a huge boat lift about 87 metres high, but that'll be, I think, tomorrow's challenge. But today we'll be doing the older route and enjoying the hydraulic boat lifts, which we'll show you more of shortly. We've got some onlookers, gongoozlers, as we're going to pass through the first of the lock system, or the lift boat. With the power of hydraulics, the bath that you see here is going to drop to the bottom here, while this bath here counterbalances it or uses its hydraulic power to push us back up. Slow start, we're trying to get the door to open. We are now seeing success, and we'll soon be moving into the first bath. We've now started moving down, and the only thing that's driving this whole bath to move is the weight of the other bath, which will pass us at some stage, and the pressure caused in the hydraulic system. So they've just filled this bath with a little bit more water than it's in the other one, allowing us to nice and slowly descend down to the river below.
Today is all about engineering.
pretty, maybe say scary sight when you're coming up to the edge of a big drop-off coming into these boat lifts.
Hi. Merci.
As we go through the historic centre canal, we can see in the background the huge boat lift that replaces all of these 4 boat lifts. But it's nice to do the traditional original route first. Tomorrow we'll tackle the big boat lift. We drop down the last of the hydraulic lifts. We get a great view of where we'll be going tomorrow, to the Strepy-Thieu, and here we are descending down the last of the hydraulic lifts. As you can see, there's a boat in the other bath that's coming up, so it was good timing. We all went in at the same time. This is today Ferentz's first experience on an automated lock. So we pulled the handle, Alex is in. Now we need to lift the blue cable to start the locking procedure. So lift it up and hold it nice and high. Lift, lift, and let it go. We're now slowly making our way to the top of the Strepy-Thieu boat lift. Each of the baths that we're now in are 112 metres long by 12 metres wide. They hold between 7,000 and over 8,000 tonnes of water at any one time, depending on how full they are. And each bath is supported by 112 cables, which can move independently of the other bath by use of a counterweight. Ascend a total of 76 metres.
It's about the counterweights for this lift. As you can see, they are very large. There is 1, 2, 3 counterweights. How much do they weigh, Wes?
Well, they have to weigh between 7,000 and 8,000 tonnes.
So they weigh between about 7,000 to 8,000 tonnes, each or individually.
Well, that's the same
So
thing.
they're about 2,500 tonnes each. And it's working very well. It's a very smooth ride. I think that the little action I was sort of holding on for dear life like this. And it seems like things are going smoothly.
Yes.